Hey guys, still here and welcome back to Transport Fever 2. It's Season 3, and in Season 3 I'm going to be trying to set up various construction networks and transport networks in, well, my own country, the Netherlands. This is an 1850s map of the Netherlands, which means that there are significantly more portions underwater of this map than there are in real life. If you look over here towards the southwest of the country, we have a lot of water protection systems in place at this point. But, well, our country had a big disaster with water in 1953. And this is 1850, so all of that stuff is not yet in place. And then again, well, it is Transport Fever 2. Water is not going to be that big of a problem. I have installed about 75 mods. No, that's not an exaggeration. There are a lot of mods in this particular playthrough. Link down below in the description to see what mods there are. I've added them all to a collection so you can go through them. You can subscribe to one or more, just depending on what sort of gameplay you like. The more important ones are a mod that you might not be able to see the effects of right now. It's a mod that, as towns grow, generates more demand for different various goods. So, for example, the town of Schiedam over here, it desires food and construction materials. But later on, I think it's 1910 is when that starts, it might desire a third or even a fourth product. And then towards 1980s-ish, it's going to go all the way up to 6 products. So this is something that's going to increase the flow rate, or increase the grow rate of cities. Something else I have is, I'm not exactly sure what the title of the mod is, because I did add a whole bunch of them yesterday. It's a mod that changes how towns grow. Right now in Transport Fever, if you have a town, it has a fairly balanced growth between residents, shopping facilities, and workplaces. And that works rather well, because at the moment, you cannot really have, let's say, 500 residences or 500 residents and only 300 shopping facilities and 800 workplaces. That doesn't work. But with this mod, you now can, and towns supposedly can get quite a bit bigger. And the third mod that I wanted to highlight is Industry Expanded. I did do a showcase video on that. And, well, this steel mill over here is one of the examples. It takes a bit of iron ore and a bit of coal, and yes, these are new icons thanks to another mod. And it turns that into steel, but also into slag. And slag can then be used into a different facility to try and make, well, let's say construction materials out of that over here. And over here, with one slag, I get 2 construction materials. Something else that I want to highlight on this map. I had to manually add demands to all the towns. And I didn't do it for all the towns. So what you're going to see in a town like this is that it has no demand. It doesn't require food, nor construction materials, nor goods, nor tools, nothing. I hope that over time, with that mod that I just mentioned, that slowly but steadily designs the towns to actually start demanding stuff, or at least get more demand, that these towns will start to demand something. And otherwise, I'll just have to make do as is. Now, the map is, as far as industry goes, completely randomly generated. I can tell you that we do not have a marble mine in the north of the country. We do not have a coal mine over here in the northwest / northeast. We do not really have, as far as I know, coffee farms all the way up in the north. These are some of the new industries that have been added, and I just told the game to start throwing down these additional industries, or, well, throw down industries altogether onto this map. My objective with this playthrough is to try and connect all the towns, and that's going to take quite a while, because there are a lot of towns. This is the list of all the towns, and that's because this is one of those experimental maps, and there are just an incredible amount of towns and industry, and hopefully I will be able to connect all of this stuff together. Now, for some reason the game seems to have generated a bunch of random roads over here. And here too. Actually seeing them pop up all over the place now. That's curious. No idea. Now with 75 mods, it's not weird to see stuff like this occur. So I'll just have to delete those as I come up to them. My first objective, however, is to start connecting a few of the towns together. And the most important ones in the Netherlands, as far as the west side goes, are Den Haag, Rotterdam, Utrecht, and Amsterdam. These are the 4 critical cities, the biggest cities on the west side of the country. If I can tie these together with a couple of train lines, then that's going to allow me to get these cities to grow. And especially Amsterdam has a couple of cities right next. It has Amsterdam Nieuw-West, Amsterdam Zuidoost, and Amstelveen, which is also an actual town that resides here. Now, there is one thing that I'm a bit apprehensive about, and that's using the stagecoaches as early buses. Because what I have seen happen is that they just get into a massive traffic jam. And unfortunately, at this point, as far as I know that is, you cannot yet build bus lanes. They haven't been invented yet. The bus was something that hasn't been invented yet. People are just, well, using stagecoaches insofar as they have one of their own. So I will set up a couple of routes here. Try to connect Amsterdam with potentially Amstelveen and Nieuw-West to Zuidoost. And through that, create a sort of crossing point. And I think that this spot over here might just be a good place to start. So let's set this thing up here. That has a decent catchment area already. Then I want, no, not a large street, that's a bit much. I don't want to start out with removing buildings, if you don't mind. That's better. Alright, then let's say a stop. How am I going to drive this? Up, up, up. Yeah, here. One there. And maybe I can catch the whole of Zuidoost with one stop. Yeah, over there. Well, it's not the entire town, but it's the most part of town. Amstelveen over there. And let's see, this is a small street, I think. There. This is going to be the Amsterdam line that goes through the middle. And I, by the way, also have a ton of new colors. Let's see, passenger lines. I'm going to make those, no. See, for me, if I use this color, I can just barely make it out. Thank you, color blindness. There. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the type of trick that I use being colorblind. I don't really pick the color. I just pick column and then row. All right. So this is AMS north-south. And then we're going to use this one to traverse west-east and back. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4. There. So this is AMS west-east. Now to set up a couple of vehicles on there. I do need potential further growth for this particular building. Because this building might become the hub of Amsterdam. I don't exactly know how I'm going to be able to connect this to a train stop ever. Because I would want a train station over here in the middle of town. I could build one. That's really not so much the problem. I can build one. But it's going to be ridiculously expensive. And especially early on, it's going to be a very noisy place. Now, early on in the campaign, I'm not too fussed about noise pollution. It is going to be a thing, but it's almost unavoidable. All right, what am I going to use? Let's go with the stagecoaches. I want 4 on each line. So that's 1, and then 4 more on the other one. West-east. All right, and there we have our first lines for a whole 250,000. Let's slowly have the game progress. And as for the date time, yeah, let's set it to half speed. Let it grow slowly. Let's see, there is another place that I can quickly connect, and that is Utrecht and its nearby towns, the towns of Zeist and Nieuwegein. The transport network, the road network is a bit haphazard, so that's not really ideal. But this one I think I can also help grow. just by sheerly placing down a couple of truck stops. And ideally... I want to try and tie Nieuwegein and Zeist into Utrecht, make Utrecht the biggest town. And for that I will need a bigger truck stop or bus tram station. But the big question is where? Where do I do that without removing the whole town? I could do it here. Yeah, maybe that's the best option. I will need a few more platforms though. Or actually, yeah. Let's go with more platforms and more length. And then set up the road. Just make this thing a little longer. Go with the building. Truck stop. Geez, this place is poorly built. These roads are all over the place. They're not, whoa. They're not really helping anybody, though. Let's see, if I take this stop as the first one, then I go here. Then I go there. 1, 2, 3. I know that this is not technically all part of Utrecht, but I'm just gonna make make pretend that it is. Utrecht, Nieuwegein. I'm gonna have to add another one that goes to Zeist, and that'll be. This one has a pretty good catchment area. The rest, I think, is covered by the stop itself. Whoa, not twice. Once is enough. Utrecht, Zeist. Change the color. And then finally we need one more truck stop. Or potentially 2. Yeah, let's go with 2. Starting here. Heading there. And there. And back. But that means that I will have to double up on this stop. There you go. And change the color. And that's Utrecht internal. Okay, vehicles. Now, I can already see the problem. Yeah. Oh no. See, this town already generates a lot of traffic. So my buses are going to have a pretty hard time, or my stagecoaches slash buses are going to have a pretty hard time getting to these things without getting caught up in traffic. That's something that I'm kind of worried about. And I wouldn't be surprised if that also happens all the way over in Amsterdam. Let's see. 2 for the perimeters. And then let's go with 3 for Utrecht itself. Terminals. Check. I have 1 spare terminal. I might be able to use that for, let's say, a more distant line. I don't think that these are going to be terribly profitable yet. Well, actually, we do have some people on board. And we got... Oh, damn. We got 18 people already there. Interesting. So this line could potentially become profitable at some point. Oh, you're not one of mine, are you? You are. Okay. Let's see. I believe that's down here. Yep. Antwerpen. Not technically Dutch. I think at some point way back in the history of our country and, well, the country, let's say the history that we share with Belgium, there was a point in time where Antwerp was part of the Netherlands, and then it wasn't, and then it was, and then it wasn't. I'm not 100% on this, so excuse me if I get it wrong. Anyway, this is also going to be potentially a massive hub. I will probably need something bigger than just a couple of stagecoaches to tie these things together. Because we got Beveren, Antwerpen, Mortselkantig, Schoten, Antwerpen, Ekeren, and Capelle Brasgaat. So that's a lot of different towns to tie together. And the big question is going to be where? Because I would love to have one line that goes from here to there, and then one from here to there, which means I would need a connector point, let's say this part. Bus tram. That could just be 2 platforms, I think. One going east-west. No, actually I need 4. One going east-west, and the other going north-south. And maybe I can just make it a second exit to hopefully have these guys go in and out a little faster. Alright, this already catches a good bit of Antwerp. Now to set up the other building. There. And here. This is not a terribly big town at the moment, so that should be doable with 1 stop. This one, not so much. Let's go with 2 stops. And then over here, just the 1. Alright. Starting here. Going there. Let me change the color immediately. Going there, going here, and going back. Is this a double one yet? Yes, it is. Okay. So that's Antwerpen, north-south. And then we're going to go here and there. And all the way there and back. And that's Antwerpen. Whoa! Why did you destroy half the town? I saw a lot of explosions occur here. That's weird. Now, I set up a couple of additional terminals to make sure that they can always use some of these lines. The west-east line. I want this to be on terminal 2. I want you to be on terminal 3. And I want you to be on terminal 4. There you go. This is why I set up the 4 terminals. Now, I don't think I can... Oh, I can fit a road depot here. Perfect. As the town will grow, I doubt very much that this is going to be maintainable. I will probably need to do something quite different and set up a far bigger infrastructure, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. And west-east. Alright. What else can I do? Are there any... Ah, yes. Brussels. Brussels is another one. It has Anderlecht, Laken, Grimbergen, Schaarbeek, and Elsene. Let's see if there's a suitable spot to set up a couple of hubs. Come on, game. I don't want to remove buildings, please. Oh, come on. Is there no room in Brussels to deploy any kind of station, stop? Here? Yeah. It's not ideal, but it is now mine. Ah, too much slope. Really? Oh crap, I'm not deleting the whole station, I'm just deleting part of it. Done. Okay. I want to get that a little closer. What are you colliding with? I would ideally have that exit on the other side. There you go. Alright, this covers almost the entire northeastern part of Brussels. So time to deploy a couple of bus stops where I'm not catching it yet. Here. And here. And there and there. For Brussels, I'm going to make a couple of, well, different lines. It's going to be one, after the autosave is done, starts here, goes to north, and then to south. Actually, does that make sense? Yeah, it could. So start here, go there. And go there, and go here and go back. I might need to do this one twice, with a clockwise and a counterclockwise. Brussels, east. This would be clockwise. And then I need to do one in reverse. Which means that I need to double up on those stations, those stops. Brussels, east, counterclockwise. So I want to have a double stop here, and here, and here. Does it work properly now? Jeez, I can barely make that out. Yeah, it does. Okay, good. That one's done. Next, starting here, going there. Brussels northwest. I can already see that bridge becoming a massive problem. That's going to cause so much congestion that I'll probably need to start helping this town by building additional bridges. Brussels southwest. I will also probably, by the way that I've done it right now, generate a ton of passengers on this Brussels annex station. So I might have to at some point relocate it or start bulldozing additional buildings to make sure that I can actually fit it there. Brussels northwest. Brussels southwest. Brussels east counterclockwise. And Brussels east clockwise. Off you go. The other lines are not exactly profitable yet. Even though we're carrying 16 people. Tell me how that works. Where are these people hoping to go? Because maybe they haven't reached their destination yet. I mean, it's only been a couple of months. I'm not actually surprised if they haven't gotten to where they want to go yet. There's no shortage of passengers here. So the line should be able to make money. Are you going to be dropping off people here? I rather hope so. Yep. $5 profitable. And then bang. There goes the negative profitability. 32. Wow. Impressive. Hopefully over time this is actually going to stabilize. Alright, is there another one that I can do? Not really. I think I have covered the easy towns as far as joining connections goes. Yeah, I think I joined up the easy ones so far. Okay, let's see if I can do something else for the towns that I currently have. Because ideally I would be also providing at least some of these parts with food. Amstelveen and Amsterdam New West, they both require food. I happen to have a food processing plant next door, which requires meat, or coffee, rather coffee beans, or alcohol. That might prove challenging. Yeah, there is a livestock over here. Livestock can be turned into meat. Meat can then be turned into food. But this is too far away. That's not reasonable. That's not doable. So I guess the food situation over here, right now, not gonna happen. What else? What other options do I have? They want to build construction materials here, and they want it over there. Can I, however, provide any of these resources? So being either slag, or sand, or marble and stone. Well, that's probably not going to be easy. Speaking of industries, One of the mods, the Industry Extra mod, gave me this button over here. I can deploy as many industries as I like, but they are expensive. If I were to deploy a, what is that, a sawmill, it's going to set me back 20 million. Which especially early game is just straight up impossible. But later on, I can and will start to buy and build my own industries. To make sure that I can use these assets a little bit more easily. And I think that they're fairly balanced, especially early game, by how expensive they are. I mean, this one over here creates oil. I could put a fuel refinery not too far away, and it's going to take me a bit of time before I actually recoup that 20 million. But what I can do is have a sort of production plant over here with oil, and then, oh, actually it's already here. Oil refinery, fuel, and then I can ship fuel to nearby towns. And I might actually do that right now. Because Etteleur over here requires fuel. Oh, and they also require mail. That's another new resource. And Turnhout over here also requires fuel. Tilburg requires some mail, but not that much. Mail, before I forget to cover it. Mail is generated by towns. If this residential... No, it's not a residential building. It's the commercial buildings. Hello, do you guys have commercial buildings? I guess they might not have commercial buildings. Okay. Not at all? Now, they do have shopping facilities. It's just that none of these actually generate the email. Or, no, not email. They don't just generate mail. That's going to be interesting. Usually, commercial buildings, when they have their cargo needs met, they will generate mail. Mail can then be sent to a sorting plant, and from there you can send it on its way to another town. It doesn't matter what town. It's not like the game is going to figure out, oh, this letter needs to go here and that letter needs to go there. No, fortunately not. But it is another way to make the towns grow, because you can actually supply them with another resource. Anyway, this part. I want to have these things connected. That is one expensive road. Should be a country road, by the way. 380, and then here. And then this one ties to here. I have no idea why the game generated these little places in the middle of nowhere. Okay. Now, I want to ship it to Etteleur and to Turnhout over here. Turnhout needs 37, Etteleur needs 38. So I'll also need to set up a couple of roads which are going to be able to do that. One going this way, one going that way. Right. Construction. Truck station. This is going to be the main supplier. I think having this many platforms is a bit excessive. I will probably only need one. We're going to take it from there to here. This triangular line is a little too perfect, or at least it feels like it's too perfect, and yet I didn't deploy it myself. These three buildings, I didn't deploy those. The game just generated those, for those of you wondering. Let's go for 1 and 1. Alright, fuel. Start here, drop off there. I can have them also take oil here and then just go back. That might be the easiest because it saves me a line. Let's say that this is the Tilburg crude oil fuel. And oh crap, I still need to create drop-off points. My dear town, where would you like your fuel delivered? Right here to the middle. That is doable. Let's make this thing grow. And the other one, where would you like it? You'd like it delivered here, also to the middle of town. Gotcha. Okay. Construct this street. And then take transport from here to there. Turn out fuel. And over here. All the way there. Let's change that color, and that is... let's make that EL. Fuel. This is probably going to be a more profitable route than all of those little things that I've set up so far. Some of them are starting to generate some money, but it's not a lot. But, well, it's better than nothing. At least it's ticking in. Alright, vehicles, cargo. I need stuff that can transport all the cargo, preferably at best speed. It doesn't really matter which. Look at that lifespan, though. Oof, 12 years only. This might be excessive. But I'm hoping to try and get this connection to also join in on other parts. Let's see. These can transport 4. Let's go with 6 for each town. So Etteleur is going to get 6. And then you're also going to get 6. Going to Turnhout. The convoy is on its way. And the oil well has immediately sprung into action, starting to generate a good supply, which is already overflowing the station. Now at this point I don't really care. I couldn't even transport this much even if I wanted to. So I'm not going to upgrade that truck stop. It does not really take priority at the moment. All the vehicles over here, well, it's a bit unfortunate, but at the moment I don't really have that much for them to do. What I will want to do, however, is build another cargo platform. So that I can get easier... that I can get easier access here. I want you on Terminal 3. There you go. So, Terminals 1 and 2 are going to be deploying the fuel towards the town. And Terminal 3 gets to receive the oil. And then turn it into fuel. This is probably going to cause a bit of a jam. Look at that, 130 already. Yikes. Alright, load it up. Spinning around. Hello? There you go. Okay, this little one. How much are you going to make me, I wonder? So operating costs are really low, at just under 4,000 a year. And the distance is not too great, so the profit's not going to be too high. I just hope that it can still run profitable. I think it will. Maybe 20,000, 20, 25, something like that. And then I know that I'm running with initially half empty trucks from here to there. And then empty trucks from there to there. Well, so be it. There's not a whole lot that I can do to fix that. So be it. Let's ride along with this coach. Lovely blue skies. Which is, as I'm looking out of my window, not entirely inaccurate. It does look pretty much like that. Flock of birds overhead. The horse is a bit spastic once you're looking at it in full speed like this. Alright, I had to pause the game for a second, but these things generate 5,000 per trip. And I'm not actually too sad about that. This line, especially once you get vehicles later on, faster vehicles that is, will probably generate more cash. Unfortunately, you're still looking at the 2-to-1 ratio. Now this one has already picked up some oil. This looks like the line to Turnhout, which is coming back. And once this thing has dropped off, it's going to go all the way back north and just repeat the cycle and continue and continue and continue. Cute, these things. I like the modern vehicles, but all these horse things, they do have some sort of... I don't know. There's something about them that I quite like. There's something about them that I quite like. That's an empty one. Empty one. Here we are. Now, I'm considering making this stop a lot longer. And doing it so that I can get vehicles to wait here until there's something to pick up. But I'm not... There you go. Another 3.5. I'm not sure if that's going to be useful now, because the truck stop might just be too full. Hold on, why am I seeing different vehicles here? I just bought different ones. I thought I'd picked the standard ones for each line, but apparently I didn't. Anyway, with that, I'm going to end the episode. We have a couple of lines set up. Amsterdam is connected, Utrecht connected, Antwerpen connected, and Breda, sorry, not Breda, Brussels connected. Hopefully all of these are not going to be causing too many traffic jams and that they will eventually run profitable. At least early on. Oh my god, this is not good. It's 1852 and the bridge is already fucked. Lovely. Alright, let's see if I can let's see if I can find profitable opportunities in locations where the traffic is not nearly as bad. But I'll do that in the next episode, which is going to be up in 2 days. See you guys then, and thank you for watching.